Well, I don't think we're going to see a sunrise. It's foggy. And it's dark. It's only, it's 20 minutes to 7. I got to throw somebody under the bus, though. I was catching up with comments a little bit ago. And Christy Haven asking about how our separating was going, hoping it was going good. Well, it's not yet. He kind of forgot we're a few hours behind. Yeah, you guys back there, it's daylight and you can see, and probably starting to warm up a little. I made it daylight in here because I kind of needed to see what the feeders looked like. I kind of figured this morning we were going to have to feed. No big deal. It just adds another thing into the day. It's just a matter of, do we feed before or after we separate? I mean, they can get by till we're done too. But feed beforehand. You can't see through the feeders if something's hiding behind it, especially a calf. Feed after the fact, well, by then, hopefully, there's still some hay in here. But, me being me, I'd feed them early. I'd feed them right now, but I'm not going to do it by myself. So, and there's you can't see him. You see the cow's face. You can see the feet next to it. It's one of the younger cows. Shut up. Rude. One of the younger cows right here. And that calf is almost as big as her. I mean, we're quite a few that way. And center of the screen, you can kind of see something. A little white moving. That's another calf on a smaller cow. Well, they're not really on smaller cows. They're still probably 1,000-pound cows, but anyway, most likely won't get you much of the goings-ons today, just because everybody ends up busy enough that it's not going to happen. Maybe 1 or 2 shots here and there if I'm lucky. And yet another one with a good-sized calf on her. Some of these cows are starting to look like shit, and it happens once we start getting rain and it stays wet out there. The nutrition in the grass drops. Not enough to really be a problem, but the problem is it drops enough, and then it's so wet that how am I tripping on? That it goes straight through them. If you recall, this just got cleaned out in here, and that is just one big mucky mess. I thought she wanted to say hi, but she didn't. She's narrow-minded. So the plans today is, horny buggers like him, he won't have points on the side of his head by the end of the day. And the little girl's like that, she'll have an extra tag in her ear, and a tattoo in her ear, and a brucellosis shot. And of course the cows, we'll see if there's a calf in them or not. With our temperatures we had part of the summer, I got a feeling we got a bunch of late ones. There's kind of a magic threshold. You hit over 95 degrees, over 100 degrees, and do it for very long, and depending on how far along the calf may be, they may not be anymore. Is she going chicken out too? I don't understand all these chickens. I thought we had cows. Anyway, this 4.5 minutes might be all you get today. So, in the meantime, hope y'all have a good day. A bunch of pissed off cows, but they got hay in there we already fed. And this, what was loose little clumps, yeah, look quick. Them are rubber boots. You don't see me very often with muck boots on. So now we gotta separate calves. So it'll even be more fun. hard to walk out in this stuff. It was easy the other day when I brought you out here, but not now. It's wet, sticky, nasty crap. And of course, Rainey brought the last one in and then held him in here for a minute. So, now the fun part. Get the calves in there and get the cows all moved, then separate the calves. Because there's a few cows left in here. It takes one crosswise in the gate up there to stop the whole thing. So nobody wants to go anywhere. So number one's trying to get somebody to turn their head and go in. It happens to be hers that was blocking it. Ah, look out. I almost got poop in my boots. The bad thing about our setup is we work uphill. Doesn't work that well. They want to go to that little gate. When you get them turned the right direction, you get the alley filled up. So, mom's catching and weighing. Number one's shooting and worming part of it. Becky's helping me keep moving. And old Doc Peter there, he's getting an armful of poop. And that guy hiding down there, if you ever see in the comments, somebody, John G., that's him. He's a friend of mine. Well, we finished up about 3 o'clock. I didn't realize that this gate didn't get open. It's open now. So they've been in here eating hay the whole time. All the cows in this group, including replacement heifers. Only calves in this group are now steers, with the exception of one heifer, the twin, and Boomer's boy right there that just hit the hot wire. He still has his nuts. We left him a bull. It's the only one we left a bull this year. Usually we leave at least half a dozen bulls, but bull market keeps getting smaller, and where we're down on numbers, we still got to have enough for our steer customers. Now, if the boys look like they're walking a little funny, it's because they are. And I think there's 5 steers got dehorned. Something like that. There's one of them there. A couple little red and black spots on the side of his head. Better that they're out there with being freshly dehorned than in here with their head in the feeder. And the heifer calves are on the other end of the barn, in the calf barn. I think one of them got dehorned. And unfortunately, and I knew it was going to happen, when we get stretches of 100-degree plus weather, it tends to screw up breeding. A cow that's X number of days, X number of weeks along can and will absorb the calf or slip it, one or the other. Usually they'll absorb it. And being those hot temperatures, if that happens to be when they come in heat, that don't mean they're going to breed either. The gaps kind of prove it. I'm not going to sit down with a calendar and go back and look at what the weather was. We've proved it before. We got a whole bunch that are from 4 months to 6 months along, and we got a big drop. There's a big gap again. So thank you, Mother Nature, for making my job easier, right? I'd rather have them all in a 2-month time frame and have half a dozen stragglers later. But it's just what it is. And we ended up with, I believe, a dozen open. Of those dozen, a lot of them are the same age and have the same father. It was a bull that we got from some people down in the valley quite a few years ago who, hell of a good looking bull. His calves looked really good. Until we found out that his heifers don't milk. So in a way, yeah, good riddance. I mean, those that are open didn't necessarily do bad this year for the calves they got on the ground. But at the same time, If they don't milk, they ain't worth much. And, yeah, they're a little hesitant to go out because the one beller in, that's Lena. Her calf's the other end of the barn. It ain't her first rodeo, so get used to it. So, anyway, I did get you a little bit. Would have liked to have got you a little bit more, but I ended up running around like a chicken with the head cut off. Because I end up whatever I am doing, plus filling in and helping out every place else. And for the most part, it was just Mom and me and Becky and number 1. Number 2 got off work early, so she showed up for part of it. And a friend of mine that used to work for us for a while, he offered to help. He offered in the comment section, and I said, "Sure, buddy, I appreciate it. I haven't seen him for a long time." He hadn't been around here since before Dad passed, and I know why. You know, him and Dad were pretty close, and his dad and my dad served in the guards together. Except my dad didn't tell all the stories that his dad told, so I get it. You know, if we get together chatting, I get to hear all the good stories. But anyway, if you see John G in the comments, that's the guy I'm thanking right now. Thank you very much, John. Really appreciate your help today. He worked behind the scenes and kept him coming up to the tub. I'd help him get him in the tub, but he kept him in the holding pen below, which works out great, even though, you know, he probably sit around half the day with his finger up his butt. But you know what? That's the other half of the day. That's what made it go a lot faster. And he understands that. He's been here and done it. And that's enough of me gabbing. So what's done is done. Figure out who's going to go to freezer camp and who's going to go to the auction. And figure out where we're going to go to the auction now. We got either Eugene, Lebanon, or Madras. None of them are close. Eugene's the closest. And that's still a couple-hour drive. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all had a good Friday, and hope everybody has a good weekend.